Hi everybody! We are doing our Sonia cosplay again, mostly because it was easy to pack and easy to transport to this location. I didn't bring any of my makeup with me, so we are still doing a fresh face of no makeup, which this wall really brings out the red in my skin and it's really kind of annoying me. So, we're just gonna have to deal with that. We're just gonna have to live with that being a thing. Um, and I completely forgot that I was putting different things at the top. I forgot to move everything before I got started because I am a goofy goober and I completely forgot. Give me just a sec to move the stuff out of our way so that we'll all be able to see what's going on in the game, and then we will get started. Because having it go in makes it harder to read if those are down there. I really need to make a duplicate so I can just toggle it on and off. Maybe that would be the smart answer. Who knows? I know. I'm so woefully unprepared. So we are getting started with the second half of the trial. We are on game 2, episode 3. So we're the third case in. I think my favorite one from this game is the fourth one. Oh, the other one didn't sync. There we go. There, now we can move left and right. Nick? Oh, we're getting started right away. I hope you guys weren't expecting me to keep talking. What is it? I've got a confession to make. I'm terrible at figuring out magic tricks. Magic tricks? Yep, magic tricks are by their very definition tricks, right? But I can never figure out the tricks when I see them. That's because the tricks are performed by pros. They do it so you can't guess the trick. But the trick Pearly showed me was incredible. Pearls did a magic trick? What kind of trick was it? Let's see, it looked like she pulled the end of her thumb off. Oh. First, she put her right thumb next to her left hand, and then it just separated. She could move it up and down and everything. It was incredible. Really? Was it kind of like this? What? Wow, how'd you do that? Nick, you're like a real magician. See, this is why I just can't figure out magic. I'm no good at it. Especially hard tricks like flying away from the scene of a murder. You'll take all the fun out of magic if you keep trying to figure it out. That's true. I guess we'll talk to her real quick. I don't see any way out of this. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place. There's no way we can solve the mystery of a criminal flying away by tomorrow. I was thinking, do you really think the criminal flew through the air? The only one who thinks so is Mo, right? He says that he saw it. That's true. Mo looked awfully serious when he said that. You think he might be trying to frame Max? If that was it, he would have simply said, I saw Max, and that would have been enough. There's no reason why anyone would believe he flew. But what if the criminal really did fly? There's only one person who could do that, Max. You're really not helping my confidence here, Maya. That's true. Look. We're between a rock and a hard place, as we originally sussed out. Everyone seems to hate masks. Ben, Trello, actually. Trillo, Mo, they all say have nothing nice to say. That magician does seem rather full of himself, doesn't he? Especially when he says things like customers only go to the circus to see him. He even hit Ben over the head with a bottle. But what? But that doesn't seem enough to frame another person for murder. And it was proven that neither Ben nor Mo lied on the stand. Maybe Ben saw the ringmaster wearing Max's costume. But Mo clearly said that he saw Max himself. Do we have anything we can present to her? Probably not. We probably need to, just, get moving, but, I'm going to take a look at this. A cheap ring with an eerie sparkle from T to R is engraved on it. So Trillo really thought he was going to marry, Regina. That was her name, Regina. But he is literally a puppet. So that is a weird situation to be in. So, hang on. I am pulling up a walkthrough in case we need it, because we had quite a bit of trouble last time. Let's see. Very big circus. I know, I should just instinctively know all the answers to this trial. But I don't, because it's weird and we have to keep running around for no reason. But it'll be okay because I'm just gonna have it in case we need it. It's also like the least popular of these, or at least it's my least favorite. And most people don't seem to like it either, so I'm trying to pull that up just so that we have it. Oops, that was the wrong thing. Alright, I've got it. Now we're gonna minimize it and we're gonna get started. Yes, it is in fact stream time. Stream time, where I sit here and pull up things that we're gonna need for it. Alright, let's go talk to Max first, and then we'll go actually investigate. Because we have to figure out how in the world did he fly. Now he already told us in the like the recess before we were done for the day that he doesn't fly, he uses like wires and stuff, so. Oh my gosh, that was loud for me. Let me know if the game is loud for all of you. I haven't adjusted any of my sound settings. I don't actually know if y'all can hear it. So. Oh, my sweeties. You mind hurrying up and getting me out of this place? We're doing our best, Max. Just hang in there. A little while ago, some people from a local TV station came by. And since I'm a famed magician, they said, let's make you your very own TV special. Really? What kind of TV special? Maximilian Galactica, the Great Prison Escape. It would be aired live. I don't think that's a good idea. Hey, that sounds like it would be an awesome special. But if I do the special before I'm acquitted, they'll never let me out of here for real. Well, it would surely be an unnecessary addition to your troubles with the law. That's what I was thinking, but the production staff is already working on the show. If you don't get me out quick, I'll have no choice but to stage a real prison break. You seem awfully calm about that possibility. Does he? He's like sweating bullets. I'd have no choice, but it would be a contractual obligation. That's show business. Alright. The night of the crime, you didn't happen to fly off into the sky, did you? Like, you know, we just want to be sure because, like, you do fly, and he saw somebody fly, and, like, that's a thing. Here is how everything went down, sweetie. At the time of the murder, I was sitting in the ringmaster's room. Not to mention, flying off into the sky is just not something I can do at will. I don't care what the stoogy clown says, it wasn't me. Max, do you mind teaching me the trick behind flying? You'll have to forgive me, sweetie. The difference between me and cheap imitation magicians is that I keep my mouth shut. I don't teach people tricks, but I will say this much. It's much harder than you think. Alright. I was thinking about this in court today. I've got a favor to ask you. Anything for you, sweetie. Be friends with the other performers in the circus. Fabulous! A great joke. Why would I be friends with a bunch of hacks like them? But I've won on the world stage. I won the International Grand Prix. It's true, he did. International Grand Prix? Performers should always look to perform on the world stage. But the performers of the circus are completely and utterly devoid of ambition. That is something I can simply not tolerate. Ambition, huh? Something about what Max just said rings true to my ears. Oh my sweeties want to hear all about the Grand Prix, don't they? To be honest though, I've already told this story like 100 times already, so it's a bit boring. We're sorry to make you tell it again. You must not have heard me. I am really sick of telling this story. But what can you do? I'm Maximilian Galactica. I suppose I can tell it again. Voila! Here, take a look at this. I just happen to have a picture from the Grand Prix with me. Just happened to have it. Where did you keep that? Because I'm pretty sure they take all your stuff when you're arrested, Max. Just look at that fabulous stage. Oh my. That is the first stage that I ever flew on. I flew right over the audience. The crowd erupted into applause. At that time, I thought to myself that I could die right then and die a happy man. I'll never forget how I felt that night. The emotions, the acclaim. Wow. By the way, I think everyone who is a performer should get to experience that feeling. I just wish I could explain that to the other people in the circus. That's incredible, Max. I want a trophy too. Hey, Nick, how about you buy me a trophy? That's not how you earn a trophy, Maya. My sweeties, you can have this picture of my triumph. Just make sure you show it to all the other members of the circus. Look and learn. That's what you should tell them. I don't think that's a good idea. Learn how to get thrown in jail? Wow. Wow. Ooh. I'm already yawning. This is terrible. Okay, so I don't think we can, like, prove anything yet. I'm sure there's something else we have to unlock for him. But we're gonna leave him alone for now. Let's see what else is going on. Alright, December 29th. This is all well after Christmas. You hear that? It sounds like two people arguing. Oh my. Alright, let's do it. Are you ready? I forgot his voice already. Yes, well, wait. Wait your whining, let's give this a shot already. Alright, let's go. Row, row, row your boat. Row, row, row your boat. What are you doing? Gently down the stream. Come on, you know that. I'm trying my best, but, you know, this just isn't going to work. Do you enjoy saying dumb things? You're going to have to be on your own someday. If you can't handle something as simply as this, what are you going to do then? Hello, Ben. Hello to you, Trilo. What are you doing here? Can't you see we're on a secret crash training course? I'm sorry. Secret crash training? Whoa. Yeah, Trilo wouldn't give up until I said we'd try out his idea for a new routine. So, we were trying to sing it around for our new ventriloquism. In a round? You can really do that? That's incredible! See, even they were surprised by the idea. I told you. I'm not the only ones. You even surprised me with your idea. Once we've got a grip on the basics, then it's just a matter of practice. You think so? Oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to give this back to you. Ah, there it is! Now I've got this ring back, it's time to take one more shot at Regina. Can we talk to you? I know that you already testified in court today. You want to talk about what we saw, right? Yes. Well, at first we thought it was the old man. Just looking at his walk and how he acted, right, Ben? Yeah, that's right. But when we said hello and didn't even get a reply, not to mention he was draped in those gaudy symbols. What would you have thought if he wasn't wearing those symbols? What do you think, Ben? What? Oh, I would have thought it was the ringmaster. Something just isn't adding up here. I wonder who they really saw. I was hoping I could ask you about Regina. I'm completely serious about her. That's why I'm waiting for her even now. Really? That's so sweet. But if you really wanted to see Regina, shouldn't you check out the tent? Huh! You haven't got a clue about things, do you, sweetheart? Huh? Waiting like this is part of being in love. How so? If you had a clue, you would know that waiting is such sweet, wonderful torture. When your body aches for your partner's love, that's one of the best parts. Yeah, I knew that. Poor Maya. She's so red she looks like a vine-ripe tomato. So how is this new routine working out? Well, you two just take a chill pill already. Our routines are secret. We're going to take the ventriloquism world by storm. It'll be a real revolution. That sounds incredible. Well, let me make one thing clear. We're not gonna take on the world just because that jerk said we should. That jerk? Max Galactica! Performer should aim for the world. Who does he think he is? Trilo, you seem to be really fired up about all this. He needs to realize that he isn't the only one who can conquer the world stage. You're right. Mark my words, I, Triloquist, will win the Grand Prix. You're the man now, doll. Row, 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 your boat will be the key to a glorious victory. Not to rain on your parade, but wouldn't a more mature song be best? Hey, you've got to start somewhere, right? Don't screw this up. You've got to be a part of this too. Okay. To the big top. I guess we'll find Regina. The better a big circus. Big top. We've kind of sort of like decided that the best option for us is to drink as much water as possible, because otherwise it's gonna get real hard to do the voices real fast. Huh? Where's Regina? I don't know. But if she's with that tiger, I don't want to find out. Let's hurry up and get out of here. Hee, Nick, you're kind of a chicken, aren't you? No. I'm just allergic to wild tigers. But it's not wild, it's like tamed. Max and the Ringmaster had their talk in this room. That could have been when the Ringmaster put on Max's costume and went outside. Why did he do that anyway? Was it really that cold or something? I have no idea. Alright. I was hoping we were gonna find Regina or somebody, but I guess not. So, to the cafeteria, I guess? They still haven't cleaned this place up yet. If Pearly got one look at the state of this place, she'd slap whoever was in charge across the face. Remind me to never invite her to my office. Jeez. Okay, nobody's in here either. Back to the entrance, I guess. And to the lodging plaza. Oh, it's you two. You look like you just got hit by a truck. Shouldn't you get some rest? I'm taking a rest right now, pal. I've been listening to some crazy clown's life story. Miss Von Karma told me to come down here and do this for her. Yeah, I figured as much. Let me tell you something, pal. Listening to that old clown sucks all your energy. Every time he's done talking, he looks at you like you should be doing something. I think he's waiting for you to laugh at his jokes. I know that, pal. Do you have any idea how much your face hurts if you fake laughing that much? Aw. Francisca really set you up bad this time, didn't she? If you ask me, she should be listening to Mo herself. No way, pal. You're not gonna get me to backbite a woman with a whip. No way. Why are you defending her? Prosecutor Von Karma's always got her eye on us. And every time you definitely don't want her to show up, poof, there she is. Don't show up, don't show up, don't show up, don't show up, don't show up. Looks like she's wound him up pretty tight. She's directly above us as we speak. Huh? How's that possible? According to the clown, the culprit jumped from here and disappeared into the sky. If that's what happened, it means the killer passed right by this window, pal. Oh, I see. Who lives in that room behind the window up there? The acrobat's got his room up on the 3rd floor, it seems. Pretty soon, Miss Von Karma's gonna start her investigation up there. So don't get any ideas of going up into the acrobat's room. Got it, pal? That's immediately where we're gonna go. Francisca Von Karma. Once she's done with her investigation, I think I'll go up there and check it out. Maybe we should go up there anyway. Maybe we should go up there anyway. Oh, I guess we can only go to Mo's room. Okay. Mo's not here. If he was here, you would have been able to tell even before you stepped into his room. I'm sure you would have heard him laughing away. Aha, 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 aha. What do you think he's laughing at when he's all by himself? I always thought he was just thinking up new jokes. He must really love his work. Okay. Maybe talking to Gumshoe triggered something, so... Nope, this is the same. Back to the big top. Nope. Ringmaster's room. Nope. Cafeteria. Oh, okay, this is new. Cool. Alright, welcome to the wonderful, the fabulous, the cafeteria. Yikes, he's in an awfully good mood. Alright, you know what time it is, riddle time. Why does everyone cry when they eat Mexican pizza? Come on, you could answer this, it's easy. I already forgot what voice we gave Mo, so that's the one he's getting. Because cafeteria Mexican pizza is possibly a weapon of bowel destruction? Zzz, wrong, try again. Okay, what do you think, girly? It's a little close to Gumshoe's voice, but like... I don't know, I guess he kinda talks like this. I got it. Okay, what's your answer? Because they're in the cafeteria. Exactly. This is an incredibly sad place, that cafe. I did it! What's going on? He's being too nice. Hey, Mo. Today's been a really crazy day, hasn't it? You're telling me. I didn't think it was gonna be so tough. Tough? Yeah, it was a tough crowd. That's what you call a crowd that refuses to laugh. For instance, it was such a tough crowd this morning, I had to smash watermelons. I told them all a great story and even greater jokes, but no one busted out laughing. You even used the famed no shoes, no service joke. You even used the famed no shirt, no shoes, no service joke. Said that still backwards, but it's okay. Exactly. How can you not laugh at a stunning comedy like that? Are you 100% sure about your testimony today? I saw what I saw. I swear, that creep just flew through the air? It wasn't exactly flying per se. It was more like floating. The silhouette of his face made me positive it was Max. I don't see a psych block. He must be telling the truth. Hat? I can't stand Max and his attitude sometimes. I know. But lately... Huh? It's just... Lately I started to understand what he's always going on about. What is it then? Well, I'm not sure if I can explain it all that well just yet. Just when you think it's impossible, Mo flashes a glimpse of maturity. Okay. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay, so he's always going on about something. Maybe it's the... Because he says, show it to everybody in the circus. Maybe we're supposed to literally show it to everybody in the circus. Not this picture. Show it to you guys too. Huh? You've seen it as well? Well, you know what they say about Maximilian Galactica. It really gets around. I don't really like doing that laugh. Oh yeah. He didn't just show me the picture. What do you mean? He showed me his bust too. Let me tell you, that thing is enormous. His bust? He showed you his bust? Like, hold on now. It's in this picture, I think. He'd make us worship it every day. He made us bow to his greatness. He's got a big bust? I don't know about that one. Wouldn't mind hearing more about Max's bust. Not that I'm into that sort of thing. Oh, he is. Phoenix is into big bara busts. Talk about Max's bust. Max's bust should be on a small table over there. There's nothing over there. Really? Oh yeah. When was it? I'd say about 5 days ago. All of a sudden, the bust disappeared. It disappeared? If you want to see it, there's a photo on the bulletin board over there. I don't know how I feel about that. He has really big thumbs compared to like the rest of his features. Max just had to put up the picture. Just had to put the picture up.
Hey, this thing is really cool. Nick, I want someone to make a bust of me.
Sure, as long as I'm not paying for it.
Aww.
Max G bust added to the book. Is there anything else that's changed about this place? No, nothing's changed that I can see. I wonder if he's actually thinking about this or if he's setting up a bad joke. No, I'm drawing a blank here. A quiet Mo is a good Mo in my book.
I guess there really aren't any other things that have changed, huh?
Well, there is this one tiny thing that does seem different.
Tell us.
Well, on the morning of the crime, over on the bulletin board, this piece of paper was posted front and center.
Piece of paper?
It's torn, so I don't know what it said, but I could see its title.
Yikes! It says, "To the murderer."
Murderer? Yep, that's what it says, but the rest of it has been ripped off. I don't know who posted it.
When did you find this?
The morning before the murder.
Hi, welcome in.
I hope you're doing well as well. Thank you for the alert. Enjoy your stay. We're doing a lot of voice acting tonight, so we'll see how it goes.
Before the murder.
I got distracted reading and not paying attention. Yeah, the ringmaster was killed the night after this paper was discovered. Who in the world posted this thing? Technically before a murder took place.
Nick, I think we better follow up on this important lead.
Okay. Follow up how? There's like nobody around. Okay. So a lot of what makes this particular case people's least favorite is the fact that you have to like go back and forth. Like you all saw, we went to the cafeteria. There was nothing there. But after we went and spoke to Gumshoe, then suddenly Mo was in the cafeteria. So there's like a lot of that kind of fiddly stuff in this particular case for some reason. I think it was also in this game as a whole. So let's try presenting him with the Grand Prix photo like Max asked for.
Would you mind taking a look at this? I guess we won't need you to look at this after all.
Okay, how about the murderer thing? Nope, same thing. Same exact thing. What about Gumshoe? Okay, Gumshoe's not here for us to talk to. Alright, in Mo's room. No. Okay. Guess we'll talk to Max. See if he knows anything about the paper since Ben didn't. Entrance. Detention center. Oh, he's still sweaty. What's up, bro? Why are you so sweaty?
Do you know anything about this note?
The morning of the murder, it was posted on the wall of the cafeteria. I do know all about that note. When I read it, my heart certainly skipped a beat.
Your heart skipped a beat?
While I was enjoying my morning tea, the ringmaster and company entered the room. And company? I guess it wasn't really a company. It was just the ringmaster and my sweetie pie. When the ringmaster read the note, he turned an incredible bright red. All of a sudden, he tore it off the wall and shoved it in the pocket of his tailcoat.
Really? Out of
of curiosity, what in the world was written on that thing? Let's see. Uh-huh. Oh, I don't want to steal the fun from my sweeties. Go and find out on your own. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. All right, to the pocket of his coat, which had a piece of paper in it anyway. You might want to also ask my sweetie pie princess. Guess we'll talk to Regina too. Okay. We will go to the big top. And we'll go to his room. There was a piece of paper in the thing, which we noted like 4 times, and didn't grab it for some reason, because this game. Hey, do you see that? There's a scrap of paper shoved into the pocket of the tailcoat. You know, I've got a feeling I know what that is. I bet it's the other half of the note that Mo gave us. Then let's hurry up and check this thing out, Nick. Okay. I knew it. It fits perfectly with the other piece. What does it say? What does it say? To the murderer. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Meet me at 10 p.m. tonight at the Lodging House Plaza. Tonight at 10 p.m.? That's when the murder took place. Now we need to find out who called out the ringmaster. And why he was a murderer. Okay. Okay, Regina's not here. Entrance. Can we talk to what's his name? Oh, okay. Gumshoe's back, which means we probably can't talk to Acro soon. Or the acrobat. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. I'm sure you did a good job as usual. Well, I'm done with the investigation of the acrobat. Finally. But with Miss Von Karma, I'm assuming that's his cell phone. It is ringing like crazy. Nick, what is that sound? That beeping sound? It's Mrs. Von Karma. Huh? Every time I hear that sound, she's usually not very far behind. Some sort of pager or something? If you don't mind, pal, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, quick. See ya, pal. I didn't know that Gumshoe could run that fast. So much for being a flatfoot. That's another name for a detective. Never seen a grown man so afraid of a girl still in her teens. Wait, still in her teens? How old is Von Karma? Oh yeah, straight up, she's literally 18. Well, let's go inside. It's freezing out here. The wind is biting us. Ow! It's biting his lashes from a whip. Ah. And then she hit the dirt. Hit the dirt. Von Karma. She really did appear. It was a battle today in court, wasn't it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Did you have to jump out and scare us like that? What can I do for you? Tomorrow will be the day my dream finally comes true. You mean the story of my defeat at your hands making the national news? Ha ha ha, national news. You possess such a small sense of scale. The global news, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Your miserable plight will be known internationally. If I think she might be overestimating the importance of a win just by just a smidge. No, I think, not if I think. Alright, Karma, what's up? Miss Von Karma, it appears you got your hands onto something big, huh? Oh, I'm amazed you picked up on that much. Anyone could. You couldn't hide that look of victory with 10 paper bags on your head. You're trying to put paper bags on your head. I've got conclusive evidence and a conclusive witness. Need any more hints? A conclusive witness? You must mean the acrobat, right? I'm putting in a summons for him to be called as a witness as we speak. It's the final nail in your coffin, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yeah, I get it already. You want to beat and destroy me. I can't worry about her. I've got to try to find out more information for myself. Why do you keep giving Nick the evil eye? It doesn't matter if you prove the defendant guilty tomorrow. Nothing will be able to bring your dad back. My dad? You must mean the esteemed Manfred von Karma.
Of course, your dad. I know you miss him.
Enough out of you. One more word and you'll get a mouthful of whip. Now, when did I ever bring up my papa's name in this, or in any other conversation? Then what's this revenge thing you're talking about? You wouldn't understand, Mr. Phoenix, right? I have to see him again, one more time. I'm sure you know to whom I refer. Miles Edgeworth.
What? Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth?
Miles Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth. Why did you even bring him up? You haven't forgotten, have you? Do you know who it was that trained the gifted prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth?
Manfred von Karma.
Exactly right. It was my papa.
That means that Edgeworth was...
Right again. Miles was like a little brother to me. He's older than you.
Huh? Little brother? But Edgeworth and Nick are the same age.
Yeah, we're like 20-something and she's 18, so... He's definitely the older brother. Edgeworth. Wow. The man who inspired me to become an attorney. I fought against him in a few cases. And now he's dead. But a little after that case was over, he vanished. It's your fault he's gone.
Huh?
It's the truth, isn't it, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Nick, what does she mean?
Oh dear. Edgeworth was never quite the same after that case, and then the case after that one. He never set foot in a court again. And then one day, he just vanished. All he left was a simple note at the prosecutor's office. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. That was 1 year ago. It was a few months after you left to go back home.
Mr. Edgeworth, he's dead?
I don't believe it. He's still alive, I'm sure of it. Somewhere in this world, he's still alive. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death? Of course he did. You ruined his reputation as a prosecutor. You effectively killed the prosecutor in him. Just like your victory muddied the honourable name of von Karma. I'm going to find him. And then I'm going to teach him his rightful place with my own two hands.
Nick, about Mr. Edgeworth.
Maya, I already told you this once. Don't make me do it again. Don't bring up his name in front of me again. Okay?
Nick?
Miss Von Karma? What? I don't know if you're God's gift to prosecutors or not, but I've had about enough of you. Him too.
What in the world happened?
This dog is all bark and no bite. He's already been defeated. Regardless, I have nothing to inform of you two today. Tomorrow will be the greatest courtroom battle this country has ever seen.
Nick?
Let's go. We need to talk to the performer on the 3rd floor.
I'm sorry I brought it up, Nick.
But at least we have a new place to go now. Whoa, hello. I have no idea what to do for this man. I think I've used all of my available voices. Whoa, I could do like a bro voice. You must be Phoenix Wright. Yes? Pleased to meet you. I'm Ken Dingling. But here at the circus, everyone just calls me Acro.
Mr. Acro.
Mr. Dingling. How do you know my name?
The detective told me. He said you'd definitely show up here.
Acro, you're a member of this circus as well?
That's right, I mainly performed on the tightrope with a flying trapeze. But nowadays, all I perform in is my wheelchair.
Wow. Birds everywhere. Oh, we've been up to his room. This is where our badge went. Acro, why did you join the circus?
When I was a kid, my parents failed miserably at business. Then one night, they decided to run away from it all, without me. The only person who was willing to take my parents' place was the ringmaster. The ringmaster took such incredible care of me. He was truly a lifesaver.
It seems like the ringmaster was truly a saint.
He was. That's why I decided to do something very important. I decided that I would devote my entire life to finding a way to repay him. And now, look how someone repaid him for all the good in his life.
It's such a shame.
Sometimes I think that he was almost too kind. Perhaps he was too kind to his performers. Perhaps he was too kind to his daughter.
I wonder if he spoiled Regina.
Regina is so cute. She's truly a princess.
Truly a princess? Are you sure that's a good thing?
Do I detect a hint of a grudge against Regina?
I'm sorry to ask, but why are you in a wheelchair?
Maya, that is so rude. How dare you?
The nerves in my legs were badly damaged.
And you can't walk now?
I can't even stand now. And since I live on the 3rd floor, I can't even leave this building by myself.
That's awful.
Couldn't they trade him to like the 1st floor? The accident happened during an acrobatics session, right?
Oh.
Cycles. It doesn't seem like Acro's injuries were acrobatic in nature.
What's on your mind, Mr. Wright?
Well, exactly when were you injured?
It's been almost 6 months since I was hurt. I injured my legs during practice.
6 months ago. What in the world went on at this circus then? Who knows? I stopped by yesterday and noticed you weren't in your room.
I was at the hospital all day yesterday.
Ah, you went there for rehab? What about the murder?
Of course I knew about it. I spoke with the police before they allowed me to go to the hospital. Before I got the call for the prosecutor.
Sorry.
I was convinced that this was all a dream.
Huh?
I just couldn't believe it when I saw what I saw.
What you saw? Jeez, that sounded really ominous. Alright, what did you see, Acro?
That night, I was in bed sleeping when I heard a huge sound coming from below my window.
I see. The scene of the crime was right below your window.
That's when I looked out the window.
What did you see?
He was flying straight up into the air.
He?
Maximilian Galactica.
What?
That's what I thought he'd say. You're absolutely positive that it was Max you saw flying?
I am absolutely sure, there's no doubt in my mind.
Nick?
Okay, so he's got a psych log that's something about what happened to him. But I don't think we have anything that we can prove what happened to him. So we have to forget it, I guess? Hey, what about the monkey? Tell me about the monkey.
Money's a great friend to me.
That pile of treasure over there is his collection, huh?
It is indeed. Money will bring anything back with him.
Aw, that's so cute.
Yeah, I'm not great with the ladies, but I seem to be pretty popular with the animals.
And I don't know what else I guess. Alright, so the only person we haven't talked to from the circus is Regina, so that's who we're looking for. Now, normally she's in the big top. Maybe she'll be there again. Oh, something new. Okay. Uh-oh. I've got a bad feeling about this. I startled the dog when I did that.
Yeah, Nick!
Wonderful! Today's special must be a Filet-O-Phoenix.
Stay here. Oh, Maya, Nick, it's you guys. I'm sorry, I guess I made a mistake.
Mistake?
Yeah, little one. I was thinking of teaching whatever primate was out there a lesson. But I was expecting more of a monkey than a human. A monkey? It's a pity about what happened to the ringmaster. Dad. Everyone loved him, didn't they? He must have been quite a man. He was. I loved my dad so much.
I hate to say it, but she doesn't seem all that broken up about her father.
That's why I feel so lonely. Now that I won't be able to see him for a while. For a while? Yeah. When Leon died, I talked with my dad and he told me that when someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens. A star? That means my dad is looking down on me from the sky. That's why I love the night so much. I can see everyone who's gone.
When someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens. That's kind of sweet. It is, actually. But I bet you there's no way that Maya believes that.
What do you mean there's no way I believe that?
We didn't even say it out loud.
Do you think that one day I'll be a star too? Of course. You really think so?
Yeah, you will, I think.
I've got a feeling that everyone is doing great up there in the sky.
I wonder if everything's alright with Regina. She's a little bit crazy.
Just to go back and clear something up, why did you want to teach Money a lesson? Because he's a meanie. He's got something that means a lot to me. Something that means a lot to you? It must be something shiny, right? Actually, it's a stage costume. It's got lots of spangles. It's really beautiful. You should see it. We should? When the costume gets hit by the spotlight, it dazzles. Hey, Mr. Attorney.
Huh?
If you saw that monkey, you'd get my costume back for me, wouldn't you? It's really important to me.
Gladly. But of course, I'll get it for you. Gladly.
Leave it all up to us.
Guess there's no turning down that request.
Yay, you're really gonna do it.
Alright, I guess we have to go find money. How do we find money? Alright, nope. Acro's room. Nope. Mo's room. Nope. Are we not supposed to immediately go find money? I thought we were. She said the monkey ran off with her costume. So where did he go? Is he in here?
What? Mo's gone.
There's a message on the bulletin board. I'm hungry, so I'm off to get some hamburgers. Love, Mo.
Hamburger. Just thinking about it is making me hungry. All of a sudden, I need a burger bad.
All of a sudden, I need a new partner. Bad. Oh, Phoenix, you're so mean. Okay, so Mo's not here. That's everywhere in the circus, so maybe we were supposed to present stuff to her. Maybe the...
There's no denying it. Max is cool. I want to try flying someday with Max.
She's already flown off in her own little world.
Nick, I want to try flying too.
Okay, I'll think about it. The bust. Alright, that's more of Max. This box. What about this? What can you tell me?
I'm not really good at figuring out hard things. Really? You too? But you're such a good talker.
I never expected Maya to make a new friend in a strange place like this. Okay, how about Money himself?
He just loves to cause nothing but trouble, that cute little monkey. But don't you think using a tiger to scare him is a bit much? Huh? Why's that? Do you really have to ask that? It's dangerous to use a tiger for that kind of thing. It's not dangerous at all. Rage is just a little kitten.
I've seen plenty of kittens, and that's no kitten. The fight, maybe? What about this? What can you tell me? Nothing. Okay. Bottle of pepper?
That's Pepper, isn't it? From the cafeteria.
Huh? It's from the cafeteria?
It's not? I remember seeing it there.
Huh. So this was the cafeteria's pepper.
You know, I'm not a big fan of Pepper.
Yeah, okay. The note? Okay, it does ask something. I thought it was going to be another bum. Regina, have you ever seen this before?
I know what this is.
Really?
Well, it was in my pocket for a while.
It was in your pocket? This piece of paper was in your pocket?
Well, I guess I noticed it was in there around breakfast time.
Breakfast time?
Yeah, I always take Acro his breakfast in the morning. That's when I also take out the trash in his room. Then I go to the cafeteria and eat my own breakfast. That's when you realized the piece of paper was in your pocket? Yeah, but since I'm not a murderer, I just figured it belonged in someone else's pocket.
And then what?
I wondered if the person who lost it was in trouble, so... You didn't put it on the bulletin board in the cafeteria, did you? I did. I stuck it up there. How'd you know?
Huh. So it was Regina who put it up there. When did this happen?
The morning of the murder, I think.
That explains a lot.
I wonder who wrote this.
Huh. Alright, so she noticed it after she brought Acro his breakfast, meaning Acro probably put it in her pocket, either expecting her to put it on the board, or was he talking to her? Who knows? Okay. Okay, still nothing. Anything else to present to her? This maybe. Max school. You okay? Try flying someday. Try to come up from the world. Okay. I think everything else is just gonna be the same, so off we go. I guess we can try presenting the Grand Prix photo to him, because he's the only one we haven't done it for. Let's see. Also, this particular heart is like not sitting where it's supposed to. It's supposed to sit where y'all can see it. There we go. Oh, that's not where y'all can see it at all. If I could, please hair, please. My hair is not cooperating. Oh no. There we go. There, now it'll be visible. And we'll have a heart on the screen at all times. Okay, Grand Prix photo. Grand Prix.
Would you mind taking a look at this?
Oh, no, it's the same. Oh, okay, alright. Cool. Alright. Is Money here now? No. Is Mo back? Okay, maybe Mo's back.
Mo's not here.
Okay, why did it change then? What's that? I hear something.
So stop it, Nick. You're scaring me.
It's Money the monkey.
Nick, it's Money.
That monkey's holding something.
That's it. That's the thing that means a lot to Regina, remember?
Alright, time to take on this monkey attorney style. Give it back, monkey brain. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That means a lot to Regina. A real man wouldn't make a little girl cry. Oh my god.
Yikes!
Wah! Tried to have a man-to-man talk with him. I really did. That is attorney style.
You know, man-to-man isn't really accurate. It was more like man-to-monkey. Nick, you...
I swiped it while Money was distracted.
Wow, you're really on the ball today, Nick. Let me see it, let me see it.
Huh? You can see it fine from where you are.
You know what I mean. I really want to try on Regina's costume.
Maybe then they'll take you into the circus and I can get some peace and quiet. Dang, Nick, rude. He's so harsh. What's the matter now?
It doesn't fit me at all.
Oh well, guess it's time for you to lay off the burgers. Nick, rude. Not to mention it doesn't look like something any girl I know would actually wear. It's not my size at all. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Rude. Okay. Let's go give it back to Regina, I guess. Oops. I moved it down. I can't believe I messed that up. There we go. Suo! Hello! You keep tuning in when we play Phoenix, right? Hey, here's your costume.
Here you go, Regina.
Yay, thank you. Y'all really got it back for me. Don't mention it.
I love you, Mr. Attorney.
Hey, it's nothing. No wonder guys melt to mush in front of this girl.
Hey, Regina. That costume is yours, right? I tried it on, but it didn't fit me. Huh? This costume? This isn't mine. It was Leon's.
Leon's?
You know, the lion she told us about.
Oh, the one that killed someone. No, that someone killed. That's right. Okay. Let's talk about Leon then, I guess. Leon, he was... Because you like Phoenix, right? Perfect. And our pro voice acting. Oh, you get off on those days. Nice. Saturdays is a pretty good day. We were thinking of switching our Saturday stream to be like a second stream on Sunday, so doing like Sunday morning and Sunday evening. I'm still not sure. Leon, he was killed, wasn't he?
That's right. My dad killed him. Why? Well, Leon did something really bad during practice.
During practice? This is the first time you've been off on a day like this? Nice, 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 nice. It's hard for me to see my my chat live, so I'm trying to move my stuff around so I can see it better.
Leon was sitting down, and then he opened his mouth, you know. Uh-huh.
There's a white car pulling up in front of... Oh no, sorry. So, there's a window. I'm glad you made it too. There is a window right here. I don't know. I guess technically it would be on that side for y'all, because it would be off to the left of the screen. But there's a window right here, and I saw somebody pulling up to the front of the house, but really they were just U-turning, so it's all good.
Usually when he did that, I would put my head into his mouth.
I'm glad you made it.
Uh-huh. Wait, you put your head in the lion's mouth? I sure did. People in the crowd always loved seeing me do that. They'd always start screaming.
You sure they were screaming because they loved seeing you do that? Anyways, what was the bad thing?
Oh yeah, Leon bit someone during that practice. Regina, everything was alright though, right? No, it wasn't alright. That was the problem. My dad was incredibly angry.
And that's when Leon...
Yeah, that's when he became a star in the sky.
Poor thing. He was put down by her dad. Wow. Okay. We don't really have anything else to present to her because she's reacted to everything else. Leon, I guess. What about this? What can you tell me?
I'm not really good at figuring out hard things.
Okay, same old. Jesus, yeah. So we're investigating the murder of her father. And the issue is that, he put down a lion 6 months ago. There was also an accident involving the acrobat that we talked to 6 months ago. So there's a lot of things that are 6 months so far. Interesting. I really just dropped my thing, actually. What I was gonna say is that I really think we need to make the text on this chat box bigger. And then I straight up dropped my other controller.
That was super embarrassing. I didn't mean to do that.
Alright. We can't really talk to her, but I guess maybe we can talk to Acro, because there's that 6 month thing. Let's go talk to him about Leon. It's a 6 months ago. Present. 2 moments.
What do you think of this?
I'm sorry, but in my present physical condition, I don't really know much about what goes on outside of this room.
Okay, so nothing.
Oh, we're sorry.
Don't worry about it. There's no need to apologize.
Okay. We have a psych block on him that we need to figure out, so I'm guessing we probably don't have enough stuff yet. Reminder, drink water. Maybe Mo's back. Wait, where was he again? Oh, yeah. I hate that you have to go one place to go like 3 other places. Alright, Mo, did you come back yet? Oh,
Something smells fantastic. So we know it can't be Mo. Wait, I know what it is. It's burgers.
so it has to be Mo.
Hello. Welcome to Bistro du Cirque, aka the cafeteria.
It smells so good in here. And those burgers look great.
She's drooling like she's some sort of crazed burger monster.
My burgers are the best. Juicy meat, toasted buns, special sauce. They're absolutely irresistible to anyone with hankering for a burger. One bite will send you to hamburger heaven.
I bet. I can tell by the smell.
Oh, I'm getting hungry too. Those burgers must have some kind of special power. Yeah, right?
Now that the ringmaster is gone, what are you going to do?
That's all I've thought about the past 2 days. Everyone loved Russell. You've heard Acro's story, haven't you?
Like how he was adopted when he was younger?
He's calmed down a bit now, but he was livid when he heard about the murder. Acro was upset that he said he couldn't go on.
Oh, so upset. He was that upset?
Yeah, he was. Anyways, it gave us some thought. Maybe I should give up on trying to be a half-baked clown.
Oh.
We're thinking of trying on the ringmaster's shoes.
What? Really?
Oh.
Max would still be an issue, though.
Max?
Why not be a chef, right? He just said he made killer burgers.
He may be a bit mean and hard to work with, but it's hard to argue his importance. He's probably the reason Circus is still around. A lot of what he says is right.
Mo.
All this left is to see if everyone can get over the tragedy. You know...
The tragedy? You know? What is he talking about? Get over what tragedy, Mo?
Don't worry about it. It's nothing at all.
You must mean the tragic death of the ringmaster, right?
Yes, that's it. You're right, girlie. Dang. Correct the moon.
Doesn't he mean ding? I was just thinking that. Mo, I mean no disrespect here, but are you lying to us? Sus.
Ah! No, not at all. What makes you think that?
Just the way you said if everyone can get over the tragedy seems a bit strange. It sounded like you were talking about something from a long time ago. Eek, 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 eek. Mo, I'm right, aren't I? Oh, I guess we're right. Here comes the Cyclops. Alright. So now we're getting closer to the truth. Then you look pissed, right?
It was about 6 months ago. It was just a little accident. Give me a break. Us old men have accidents. I wear big pants for a reason.
6 months ago, huh? Alright, so we have 2 things in our inventory and our record that are 6 months ago, so maybe those will be it. Stop lying to this clown face. Stop it right now. Don't lie, chat. Stop it. Get over it. Mo, please tell us what happened 6 months ago. What in the world went on at the circus?
Okay. There's no need to look so scary when you ask me. Hey, look over there. Some juicy burgers. Let's eat instead.
Unfortunately, I'm more of a grilled chicken sandwich man myself. Actually, I've kind of got an idea of what happened back then. Mo, you said something about an accident? This wouldn't happen to be the cause of that accident, would it? I guess that would be Leon, because it says that he was shot for biting somebody. I heard a little bit about it from Regina. Leon made a mistake during a practice, right?
How did you...
We were right.
I told him so many times. You shouldn't be doing such dangerous acts.
Like putting her head inside Leon's mouth, right?
Yeah, but Regina believed in Leon. She believed so strongly the ringmaster went along. He could never say no to her.
Out of curiosity, who is bitten? Come on, Mo, don't clam up on me now. Who did Leon bite on the head?
Well, I promised I wouldn't say anything.
You promised?
He's involved in this too.
He's involved, huh? Mo must be talking about. Mo, is this the person that you promised you wouldn't say anything? Well, the only other person with something happening 6 months ago would be Acro, although that doesn't really make any sense. It must have been Acro, right? I mean, I guess it is, but...
How did you know?
Don't worry about that, Mo. Getting to the bottom of this accident may help solve what happened to the ringmaster.
No way.
I need to know the truth about what happened to Russell. Please tell me what you know.
I'm sorry, Acro.
Oh, okay. Cool. It worked. Alright, unlock successful. We are ace attorneys.
It's just like you said. You know, the accident.
Did someone die?
No, but it probably would have been better if he had.
What? How would that have been better? How would that have been better?
He's still alive. But when he got bit, he suffered massive brain damage. He'll never recover from the coma that he's in.
Oh. Coma?
All he does now is lie in his bed at the hospital.
Okay, it's definitely not Acro then. But he's definitely involved somehow.
And that's all he's ever going to be able to do.
I see. How is he related to Acro?
He's his brother.
Huh?
The person who got bit was Acro's brother.
Brother?
They were an acrobat team of brothers, Acro and Bat. Cute nicknames of that. Anyways, they were an incredible team, cut down together in their prime.
Okay. Who is Acro's younger brother?
Sean Dingaling, but everyone always called him Bat. He fell in love with Regina. Trying to win in love was his downfall.
Everyone seems to fall in love with Regina.
6 months ago, while we were practicing, all of a sudden Bat blurts out, "Let me perform with Leon."
Why'd he do that?
I don't know, but that's what caused the accident.
Oh my.
I'll never forget that moment. It was so strange. Leon had the weirdest look on his face. He was smiling.
Oh. He? You mean Leon?
Yeah, Leon. When he bit down, he was smiling. Yikes. Okay, that's some sick grin.
No way, that's impossible.
I don't think lions can smile. Smirking lion, flying murderer. Why does it seem that it's always Mo who catches all these incredible events? Right?
Nick, can lions smile?
We never told the police about the incident. The circus would have been shut down if we had. The next day, the ringmaster took Leon out and shot him with a rifle.
So that's what really happened.
Well, you guys were so serious. What was I supposed to do? I had to tell you. But all this truthfulness has put me in a mood for a burger. Hey, you two have some pepper.
Shuck, 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 shuck.
There he goes again, acting like his normal crazy self.
Achoo! Achoo!
Nice, what a wonderful sneeze.
Huh, you think so?
You sneeze with pepper and slip on a banana peel. That's basic clownsmanship. Girlie, I know you got it. Understand that.
Nick, I think I'd make a good clown.
You're already a clown, Maya. Other than Regina, I've never seen a cuter sneeze. Hey, we made a cute sneeze. Cool.
Does Regina sneeze with pepper too?
She does. Bat would always tease her with pepper.
But that...
From my point of view, those two always look so perfect together.
They look perfect together, huh?
Interesting. Alright, so now we know about Bat, which means we probably have enough to talk to Acro. Because he wouldn't tell us about his accident, so I guess we're gonna have to find out what caused his accident. We figured out what happened to his brother. We didn't figure out what happened to him. But I have a feeling it has something to do with the other. Oh, Mr. Wright, back again, I see.
Well, he did say I'll be back. Wait, or was that someone else?
We're back because Acro's hiding why his legs were injured. He was hurt in the accident 6 months ago. Wow. It would seem that he knows that we know. Whoa, whoa. It seems you've got things you can talk about, so fire away. Okay, well. I'm guessing this is the last stage before the trial, since it's like guiding us here at this point. Alright. About the wheelchair. You really don't just ask people why they're in a wheelchair. That was like really tacky of Maya. So I have to ask you, how were you injured? I'm sorry, I thought we talked about this. It was an accident that happened during practice. An accident during practice? Yeah, unfortunately acrobats are prone to all sorts of injuries. He's lying. If that were the real cause, he'd have no reason to keep it a secret. Acro, are you really telling me that a practice accident was the cause of your injury? Lion? Leo. Take that! 6 months ago, you were attacked by the lion. That's when you were injured. Why did we equate that? I mean, it's true, but how did we equate that? How would we have known that? It was the only other, like, accident to have happened 6 months ago is why I picked it, but, like, are we sure? Little man, what are you doing over there? I can see my dog wandering around like a criminal instead of coming over and hanging out with me. I know I'm on the right track. I just need to keep going. You're saying that I was attacked by a lion? That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'm an acrobat. I'm no animal tamer. If a lion was coming at me, I'd be running for the exit. Okay, maybe attacked is not the best word to be using. So let me rephrase that as battled the lion. You seem to enjoy telling jokes. Why would I decide to battle a lion? Because you had to fight it. You had to fight it to save someone. Okay, so I'm guessing that would be his brother. That. It was a shame what happened to your brother 6 months ago. You tried to save him, didn't you? And that's how you got that terrible injury. Mo, he must have told you.
Yes, we learned about Bat from Mo. But he didn't mention anything about you in regards to the accident. I suppose it was just a slip of the tongue on his part. That's how I figured it out.
A slip of the tongue? Anyways, they were an incredible team, cut down together in their prime.
Cut down together. That was where he slipped, and that's how I figured it out. Oh, I didn't even remember that. Oops. You two ended up at the center of the same accident, together, like always.
I see. But an accident is an accident. It wasn't anyone's fault.
I still haven't broken Acro's last psych lock. This must be one incredibly deep-seated secret. It wasn't anyone's fault. Do you care to explain more? Acro, I know you're still hiding something from me. Maybe someone you don't seem to like much is the reason you're being evasive. Well, we know he doesn't like Regina for some reason, so...
Regina?
You always seem calm and collected until you start talking about her. Saying things like she is cruel. Did she say that?
Well done, Mr. Attorney. You got quite the set of eagle eyes.
Did he say that? No. He said something about her being a princess being a bad thing, but I don't remember him saying she was cruel. Maybe we missed some dialogue somewhere. You know, her tiger tried to attack me.
Regent tried to attack you?
Twice.
He wasn't serious, I'm sure. You're not trying to insinuate that I believe she spurned on Leo to attack Bat, are you? Leon was never taught a command to attack people. Regina isn't capable of doing anything like that. Besides, Regina had no reason to want to hurt my little brother. Regina and Bat were such good friends back then.
But you still hate Regina. I've got proof of it.
What are you talking about?
Ugh, maybe I overdid it again. But if I can hand something over to Acro, maybe it'll... Here's your proof that you had it out for Regina all along. Well, we know that he gave her the note, so I'm gonna just wild guess it.
But this, where'd you get it?
Regina posted it on the bulletin board in the cafeteria. Before that, it was in her pocket. She is kind of a ditz. I guess I noticed it was in there around breakfast time. I always take Acro his breakfast in the morning. You wrote this and then you put it in her pocket. That's right, isn't it?
That's right. Well done, Mr. Wright.
Alright, I guess we'll talk about the wheelchair. Adjusting the seating.
My legs were injured by Leon. 6 months ago, my younger brother, Bat, had a dare with Regina.
A dare?
An absurd dare. If I can put my head inside of Leon's mouth like you do, you have to go to the movies with me on a date.
That's insane. Didn't he know how dangerous that is?
Leon thought he was being stupid too. But the lion was very old to begin with. And age brought with it a countless experience of doing that very trick. Unfortunately, this particular time, I guess Leon wasn't ready or willing.
And that's when the accident happened?
He just wanted to take her out to the movies.
Poor Bat.
When Leon jumped down, I jumped towards him. Then Leon attacked me, and that's how I ended up.
What about Bat?
He's still in a coma. I went to the hospital yesterday to visit him.
I see.
I'm still waiting for him to open his eyes again. And that's the reason why I keep going.
Bat and Regina.
They were such great friends. Oh yeah, I wanted you to take a look at this.
What is this? Or what is it?
This is the scarf my brother was wearing when Leon attacked him.
Gross, it's covered in blood.
This scarf. It was a present from Regina to my brother on the day of the accident. When he did it, he looked like he was smiling.
He?
Leon, obviously.
Oh, said that too.
We bit down on Bat's head. The expression on Leon's face looked like red.
Nick,
I know, most of the same thing.
what do you think it all means?
I'm gonna assume this is Von Karma. I'll be taking that scarf if you don't mind. Yep, okay. Miss Von Karma, I've already heard everything, so hand over the scarf.
But the scarf is evidence in the trial.
That's for me to decide. I think we should begin our preparations now, Acro. Preparations? I've served a summons to Acro to appear in court tomorrow as a witness. Acro will talk more at the prosecutor's office.
Acro, a witness?
Come, Acro, let's go to the office.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
He seems to like her.
Now what do we do, Nick? How are we gonna handle tomorrow?
Don't worry about it. I'll figure something out. Literally how?
Look at you, all full of confidence.
We still don't know anything that's happening right now.
You must have found something you can use.
This is all beginning to come together now. Is it? Is it? I really don't think it is. I'm so confused. So we will save and keep going. We're planning to do the entire trial in one sitting, so hopefully we can get through, well, I shouldn't say the entire trial, the entire rest of the trial. Since we did the first half last week, we're gonna do the second half this week. Oh, sorry for the mic. And then we will start on the final case after that.
Good morning, Max.
Oh yeah, good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usually sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Oh, it's her.
Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina.
How fabulous, my sweetie pie princess. You came to watch my performance today?
Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this.
Mo said that?
So what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end?
It's not that kind of a show. Isn't that right, my sweeties?
Huh?
I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is.
Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtains. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience.
But fabulous! Enjoy yourself out there.
Good luck, Max. You're the best.
Wow.
Regina's different, don't you think, Nick?
Top of the morning to you. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go?
Hello?
Top of the morning to you, governor.
Top of the morning.
That's the ticket. Back in the day starts with the energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk.
Oh my.
Thanks.
So how are you today, right?
Well, I've got the feeling today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro?
Huh? You think he did it?
Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare.
Okay, so apparently Acro's the murderer. Now we gotta prove it. If all I've gotta worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses.
What are you gonna do then, Nick?
I guess today we'll just have to do with our usual psychological work without our usual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth.
Okay. You're right, but it's gonna be tough.
Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father.
You want us to make sure Regina watches?
Yeah, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars.
I mean, she can still believe in them becoming stars, but she does need to face the reality of the fact that it is a bad thing for people to pass on. It's not just all sunshine and rainbows and things like that. I guess technically it's not denial because she knows they're gone, but I don't know. There's something about her believing just, oh, well, they became a star and it's great, that just, it is a little bit delusional.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well, Miss Von Karma. You may proceed with your case.
The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events.
What's the meaning of this?
We've discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime.
Order, order. I had a feeling something like this would come up.
Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders.
Poor gumshoe. Very well, please call your witness to the stand.
Time to get to work, or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Alright. So we're not supposed to press him on a bunch of things, but we're gonna need to press him on some things, I'm sure. Name and occupation.
Continually, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at a very big circus.
Where were you the night of the crime?
I was in my room that night.
If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene.
My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window.
The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Could you tell us what you witnessed?
Okay.
What I witnessed? There's a little man in my fleet. Oh, puppy, come here. Huh? Apparently we're not going to see the puppy right now. He doesn't want to be on stream.
It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed.
This is what he told us too.
Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. But I only saw it from a height, and that's what it looked like.
Okay, if he saw him from behind, how did he see him? So I'll probably have to press that one.
To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming.
Okay, probably. So it's probably the last two statements that we have to press.
This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown.
If that's the case, there's very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timings for things, Mr. Felix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did. She's trying to get under our skin, Jet.
Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony?
In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened.
Very well, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
I mean, they say the dude flew. Like, that's gotta be something. Like, that's obviously no way. Alright, let's see. Ex Galactica. Okay, we're gonna press trust this one. Because if he saw him from behind, how did he know it was him? The light in your room was turned off then, right? He was laying in bed.
That's true. I was going to bed after all.
So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window?
The safety light lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses in the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body.
Didn't we find the silk hat on the ground? So it wouldn't have been on him as he flew up.
I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica.
The more I press him, the less results it seem to get. But maybe there was something fishy about the last statement. Yeah, because the silk hat shouldn't have been there. There is a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. I'm trying to get comfy, but these seats are terrible. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence.
She's right. Let's see some evidence.
Oh dear. Okay. Y'all just bear with me for just a sec. I gotta go rescue my dog. So there are cats in the house, and they're still not used to the tiny dog, so they're kind of grumpy when it comes to him. So he'll have to join us for a good part of the rest of the stream. Because he was already in his kennel for a while, so it's not time to put him back yet, and I don't want to overwhelm him too much. So, I know, baby, you want to run around, but you can't right now. You gotta stay with mommy. Alright. Excuse me, sir. You can't eat my controllers. Was the other dog eating you? Take that! Yep, okay. So the lack of the hat is what caused me to think that it was kind of fake. So, you claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that?
What do you mean?
The silk hat.
What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window.
Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night.
It would have been quite difficult considering the state I'm in. Just looking outside the window was a tough enough challenge for me.
That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found at the scene.
That's the ringmaster's hat, right?
Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has two silk hats?
No, this is a handmade one-of-a-kind model, made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Afro, Mr. Bliss, that you've been fibbing on the stand. Wow. You don't want to be on stream?
Order.
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What will cause this witness to commit perjury in today's court?
It's a grudge against Max. Acro was dreaming. Acro's the real culprit. Well, Bo said he's the real culprit, so in for a penny, in for a pound. Your Honor. On this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion?
Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of?
Wow, such a cute yawn. Why, Mr. Why? Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Mister, what are you wearing? Be okay, baby. I can use both hands, but you're trying to eat my controllers, so...
Mr. Wright, are you serious?
Deadly serious, Your Honor.
Ha ha ha. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest black in book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness.
Wow.
He's calm enough for it to be almost scary. He is staying rather calm and collected. Usually the witnesses freak out by now.
Mr. Jingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation?
I don't really need to say a thing, do I?
Pardon?
I don't really need to say a thing, do I?
What do you mean?
Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up for myself, let alone leave the lodging house.
Mister, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Why are you crying so much?
I'll have to put you in your kennel and then you'll really be crying. I just can't have you playing with the kitties. They'll try to eat you. They don't like you. Because you're a puppy.
But that's true.
I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things. See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. Okay, but you better leave those kitties alone. You better leave those kitties alone.
Alright, mister. Behave. Thank you.
You better behave, otherwise I'm gonna have to jump up again. Oh my god.
Phoenix is a poopy head!
Oh my god. That buzz was the other controller that was sitting on the table, buzzing because it buzzed. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game.
The hair is not doing what it's supposed to.
It's supposed to stick like way up here, and it's just not staying up. I think I just have too much hair at this point. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice.
What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Echo have an accomplice?
Well, he would have to, but... Let me save real quick. Yes. It's impossible for Acro to be the murderer in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural for one to consider possible accomplices.
You don't say.
Not good, not good. This isn't going to end well. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off that easy. What? You must not have heard that sound just now. Maybe it wasn't clear enough. The sound of you falling into your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes.
Mr. Wright, it seems as if you won't be stopping at Echo, but we'll be making other accusations. If Echo did not have an accomplice, things are not looking good for you.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well, let's continue. Who perchance would happen to be Echo's accomplice?
The monkey.
You don't say.
Uh-oh, this is suddenly looking very bad. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy. Oh, this is the same thing. Oops, I missed everything she said because I wasn't reading it. Foundation?
Yes, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that this person you've accused was indeed an accomplice?
No, because he took the ring back. I don't. Map.
Mr. Wright.
Okay, we're just gonna load
answer all these questions. No. Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma.
What?
You're not going to sucker me into this one.
What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright?
There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself.
Order! What are you getting at?
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. Okay, apparently this was the right answer, and I don't know how. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can I do it? We just know he was hit with something, but what?
Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that?
I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed.
Alright then, let's do it!
Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like to clear something up for you. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling?
In his room? He can't leave his room. Like, that's like the whole thing. I don't know. He says he can't leave his room without assistance. Obviously, he was here the entire time.
That's Acro's room?
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts? Are you insane? That's what we should have changed it to.
What say you, Mr. Dingling? It's an interesting theory.
That's it?
Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yes, Your Honor?
As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there's no way he could get to the scene, or go to the scene, or be the killer.
You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true.
Mostly he saw Max, didn't he?
Saw him float. But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly.
Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright?
What is it?
I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume.
How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet.
Be careful, Nick, if you mess up here.
She's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. And he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it. Did he kill the ringmaster and then drop him out the window? No, he would have had more injuries. Well, if we stop attacking, we lose. So, present evidence. I'm gonna present some evidence.
So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Berry?
A monkey. The box? No, he was hunched over it. I have no idea. And I can't back out to save, so... Alright, so it's either this box, because he was carrying a box that was heavy for no reason. It's only 20 pounds, but if you dropped it, like maybe... the box? Take that! That was
Okay, that wasn't it.
I think you should try again, especially before someone gets the chance to see something.
Yeah, you're probably right. So as I was saying, this piece of evidence... Chop, wait, I say. Before you start over, you must be penalized.
Oh, he caught me.
And if you don't put it into this funny business, I've got a few more ideas. I'm going to present some evidence. So if we can't find something, we'll have to switch to the I can't present evidence. This is the only other heavy thing we have, I think. Alright. We have a tiny seasoning bottle, which was in the box. I doubt... an orange juice bottle, chat. An orange juice bottle. The wine bottle. I smacked him in the head with a wine bottle. Or a vodka bottle. I guess, maybe? We'll just take some penalties. It'll be alright. Oh, it's different this time. Okay. What's that, the picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust? It's quite a large bust, and because it is life-size, it's also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from the third-story window. Ah! I don't know how to yell in British. See, this is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. Ample. He has an ample bust. Look, okay, I tried. She says ah, but I don't know how to do it with an accent. I can't say ah with an accent. Order. So you're saying the bust fell under the Ringmaster? A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. Oh, but the bust wasn't at the scene of the crime, so... Objection! How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It is impossible. Well, Acro is an acrobat. Objection! He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. True. Mr. Dillon, how do you respond to these charges? Well... Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Okay, so we are on the right track, but like... Ow! I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, you say? On karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time, so she thinks of a way to counteract me. Bet. There is absolutely no need for such testimony. The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond. That is technically true. The defense's objection is overruled. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? Mr. Dillon, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. A woman will sink to any low to win a case. I suppose I could have lifted something that size, the size of the bust. A strong upper body from working out as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. It makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. Thus, it would have been unrealistic for me to drop the bust on it, don't you think? I have no doubt in regards to this witness's testimony. It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries. That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling? What a shame. It's shameful, really. I can't let her get at me. I've got to focus. Okay, how do we prove that he would have been able to see the ringmaster's head? Okay. So I think Max would have noticed if he left with the box. So I'm wondering if maybe the box was already there. Okay, if the box was already there and the ringmaster lifted it up, like maybe that would have been enough for him to know where it was. Because if he lifted it up, maybe it triggered something and it fell. I don't know. We never found out from Von Karma like how they had it to where they could prove that Max flew that night. So I'm wondering maybe there was some sort of rigging system up there. I don't know. I vaguely remember there being some sort of segment about the rigging system, but that might have been from the anime. Box. Acro? You didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you?
What are you driving at, Mr. Wright?
Okay, apparently we were right, because the music stopped. You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be? Quite precisely, I might add. Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence? But he did such a good job hinting.
Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Maybe you should take a look at this. Crime scene. The key point here is the wooden box.
Same wooden box that the victim was...
Oh, yeah, because, Ben and Trilo would have seen him with the box. So the box had to be there already.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over?
The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here?
Who?
When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding a box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime.
I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean?
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
There would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim.
no. Order. This is unbelievable.
Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going. There's only one way to go from here, forward. So the next question, oh sorry. I'm a genius, I know.
The next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dingley, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip some sense into you. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ow, ow, ow! Ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. Oh yeah, it was 20 pounds for like no reason. The box has a remarkable weight. Weight?
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this wooden box would have required...
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down, then lift it up with their body, wouldn't you say?
Most people, yeah. That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large.
The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it?
That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Do a sit. I'm not going to. I'm sitting. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. No matter who you are. That was a weird turn of phrase, Phoenix. Boom. He still seems unbothered. Does he even bother to listen to me anymore?
I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills.
Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza?
Mr. White may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing.
What?
Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust?
I remember. It was in the cafeteria. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria.
Then what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself.
Ah, that means...
You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bus from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bus from the cafeteria to my room?
You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. We did say that. We did say that. That's exactly how the witness could have carried the bus from the cafeteria. We definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happened once and for all. This is so convoluted. Like, there are easier ways to kill somebody than all this.
Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get this bus from the cafeteria back to his room?
Monkey. I'm just gonna start guessing the monkey on everything.
Monkey?
Everyone knows about money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, hey, I was right.
Oh, like when you stole the ventriloquist ring.
So, are you saying the witness had the monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home. Oh, he reacted.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
The bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record.
Wow, those are some very nice cards you sold.
Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Wah! Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room.
If he wasn't able to handle that by himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Oh. He very easily, like, agreed to that. Like, bro, calm down.
Order, I said order. Miss Von Karma. Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
This is a rather strange turn of events. Let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bus. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. What would have been used as the murder weapon? Wait. And you mean this bus was the murder weapon purely by accident?
Possible.
What else would have been the murder weapon? Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer.
Moron.
Wow. She didn't seem too convicted. She didn't seem to have enough conviction with that one.
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular that I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that.
Ow! Don't be so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. Oh my god. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. Ah. There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. If that's true, how do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Nick, don't let her beat you now. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were 2 people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? The bust. The bust looks like him. Like, it has a hat and everything.
Take that!
He saw Max's Ow! Okay, maybe that was not the answer. Okay, oops. I asked, who was the other person Mo saw on the scene? That evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frere. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. Oh, maybe it was the right one. Woohoo! We're figuring this out step at a time. How is it possible? It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? Nope. The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's hands. That would explain why he didn't see all 3 symbols. He just saw 2 of the symbols. Idiot, who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance in this case. Don't you agree? Ugh, you got me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? I don't know. See, what's bugging me is that apparently Russell passed, like, Ben and Trillo wearing Max's hat and cloak. So Russell Berry had the cloak on, and then suddenly he didn't have the cloak on when they found him. So it's either going to be Acro or Russell himself, which doesn't seem likely, but I mean, it's an impossible case. Let's pick the impossible answer. Fool! Him? You're saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry? That's what I'm saying. I mean the victim himself, placed the cloak on the bust. Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Oh, okay. And what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all this? I don't know why, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, we went with the impossible option. It appears to be correct. I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. Well, I wish you would share with the class, Phoenix, because we lost in here. We're lost in this space. Chat, are you as lost as I am? Because I feel like we gotta all be lost together. I feel like we gotta be very much so. Okay, cool. Cool. There's really only one picture I can paint anyway. All right. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. How did he get the rope to do that, though? At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. this is when the magic happens. The very instant that the bust hit the victim. Oh my god. The impossible option. Cool. You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. Can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. Wow, this is an insane case. None of this makes any sense. That is the most improbable way that could have happened. What? Alright, it attaches to the bust, so he sees the hat and the cloak, and not the roses. The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. The impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. Mo? That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Foles, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because, in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of the window. So he just kept pulling the bust up, and made it look like it was flying. I'm actually impressed that the cloak held on enough to actually make it all the way up to the 3rd floor. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. Well, we've kind of explained everything. It's an improbable way, but it's not impossible, I guess. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you! Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So... what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only 2 things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip. You know what? Fair. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick, they say they want evidence.
I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
A contradiction, actually.
Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
So the only contradiction was that he saw the hat, but the hat was still on the scene. That's literally the only thing I can think of. And technically it proves that the ringmaster was wearing his outfit, so yeah, the hat. That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Phoenix, or Mr. Wright. I got used to the Mr. Phoenix Wright part. Present some evidence to the court, the facts of your claims. I don't know that it's gonna be like hard proof. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the truth of this magic case. I don't know if it's technically hard proof though. Like, this proves at least that the hat was on the scene, which means that the ringmaster needed to be wearing it, but I don't think it necessarily proves that the cloak snagged on the thing. But, yeah, okay. Cool. Hat. The problem is Max's 3 symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool, do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. That would definitely count for something. Essentially, if you look at it that way, then you did see the silk hat. Well, sort of. Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction? Remember what that ventriloquist said in court. He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony didn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you trying to explain that one away.
Can you do it, Nick?
Can I? Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Oh, they would have been facing instead of facing out. You get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. She yelled again in British, which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. But wasn't the bust supposed to be facing it? Order, order! Gavel, gavel, gavel. This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. Why not?
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel.
Alright, I'm sure the only other thing we have to do is prove, like, why he did it. Like, why would he want to kill the ringmaster? Because he, like, really loved the ringmaster, so... Okay. And he hasn't reacted yet. Okay.
Well, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind?
What is it?
You took the time to research our circus, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't?
If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track.
Why is that?
Motive.
This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with a relation to the circus is well aware of this. Plus, there's absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Yeah, motive. That was going to be the thing. Rana, I'd like to hear Akra's story. Okay, but first, let me remind myself of something. Okay, so the note that was placed in Regina's pocket says, "You haven't forgotten what happened 6 months ago, have you? I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Meet me at 10 p.m. tonight at the lodging plaza." So I don't think he was trying to kill the ringmaster. I think he was trying to kill Regina. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now.
What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster.
Acro's motive.
It seems this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break.
That's for the player.
I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after the recess.
Can't we just call him Mr. Acro?
This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
This is gonna be our save spot. Oh, wait, I think that was the music from the first game. That's the one from this one. Alright. Who are we talking to? I can't believe it, Acro! It's pretty shocking, isn't it?
It definitely is. I think he was always straightforward, one of them. Deep sympathetic. Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did.
But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know. But you're not, which is kind of the reason why.
Hey, pal! You gotta ignore me after I went through all this trouble to bring you some evidence.
Ah, Detective Gumshoe.
Forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyway.
Now, Detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? We've got some really tasty milk.
How about a card trick, Detective? Oh, well, if you insist.
Now, about that evidence you mentioned, what is it?
Here you go.
Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room.
Here, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at the letter.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this?
That's why this is all a secret.
Huh?
No details on our need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion.
Final plans?
That reminds me. I got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. That's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What did he mean by that? The very end part?
I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me.
Me too.
Oh, one more thing.
Ah! Don't scare me like that!
I'm messing my voice a little. Looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
What, for me?
It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk for me.
Aw, they do like you. Because they know that he needs milk before he goes and performs. I think that means they do like him. That's kind of sweet.
Roger's not back in church. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off.
I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim.
I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingley. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay?
Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Oh, okay. We have to prove his motive, and like I said, I don't think he has one. Alright.
When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the very big circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
Great!
There's not anything to... I guess we're gonna press him. I don't know. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem. You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. We need to cross-examine, but we literally don't have evidence that would back us up. Okay, we're gonna save, and I'm gonna choose the no answer, because if it's wrong, we'll just load the save and try to puzzle it out like we did before. But if it's right, there's no need to cross-examine this witness.
What's that?
Why was the ringmaster murdered? There's no need to delve into that bit of testimony when I know the answer already. Oh, maybe we do have evidence.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead?
No? If this fails, we'll just reload the whole sequence. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the Ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? That's because Acro had no reason to kill the Ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was. This is the real killer of Russell Berry, Ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things? Acro, you didn't plan to kill the Ringmaster at all, did you? The Ringmaster wasn't your target that night. Okay, yeah, I think we're on the right track. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the Ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. What? Order, order. If I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do in my court? Ow! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Yes. Regina. Because he slipped her that note, so she is the target. Regina Berry. This young girl's the Ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro? You were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? Oh, he looks mad. Gonna guess we're on the right track. You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited, leading question. He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough. Enough, Mr. Wright, allow me to... Ow! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself. Huh? And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl. No. Obviously, he put it in her pocket. Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the Ringmaster's tailcoat. Inside the victim's tailcoat? Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note? Yes, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the Ringmaster. You mean, it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. We're gonna make this girl less naive by proving that somebody wanted to kill her. Alright. Order, order, order. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this little theory of yours. Sorry, I put Phoenix in there again. It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. It's when her father, the Ringmaster, saw the note. That's correct. The Ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina. That's incredible. Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today. Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force in my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza. because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was.
I got it. Echo thought it was Regina down in the plaza.
And that's when he let the bus fly. Just let it fly. Hey, Nick. Isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it.
According to this note to Regina,
foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. I'm surprised we got through that. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, if you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes, what about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Barry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Barry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter.
Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it, because we do. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I am more than ready to show this court what happened at that time.
Moron. Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well, if that's the case, then hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know, I'd certainly like to know what it is. Okay. If I can't answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually the thing that was found in the box.
Take that! Achoo! 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 Achoo!
He's still singing.
What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for.
What do you mean?
Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside.
Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Barry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper?
Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Wright, then Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. How did I manage to do Phoenix Wright for the judge twice on accident, and for her, then I just leave out the Phoenix entirely? What is happening to me? Who was Regina Barry's intended victim? Well, intended's kind of a strong word. But it would have to be the brother.
Where's this?
That is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro would feel that his brother is dead.
Regina, she did that to him?
You spend your entire life dreaming of new ways to be a fool. Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingaling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
A lion?
Miss Regina Barry, is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animals in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
So then what happened?
He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident.
I see.
Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? If we say it was more than that, we're accusing her of murder, but we say it was just an accident, then they're not going to go along with what happened. I think we're trying to prove that the lion sneezed, but I don't know how we prove that she did that. Like, how did she manage to make that happen? The lion biting Bat was no accident at all. What? You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix, right? There is no way that Regina would ever incite a lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat. Oh, I didn't even read this before. Stained with his blood and a small quantity of pepper. So he was wearing this, the lion smelled the pepper, and he sneezed. Oh man, that's rough. Okay, damn. Let's take the scarf. Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? Oh, he got mad.
That's right.
And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat?
Regina. Regina gave it to him.
Regina. There is something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. And what's more stuff? Pepper.
Pepper?
Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, he's being attacked by a bird. What's with the silent treatment?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering the criminal. But out of curiosity, what was your crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that?
It still seems like the judge just doesn't get it. But Miss Von Karma does. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling?
Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling.
Lions smile?
I've never heard of them smiling, however. Lions sneeze. Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf. That was supposed to be said with much more conviction, but...
What?
You fool!
You've got to be kidding me. What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object, for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it? You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot!
It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves.
Are you telling me that what I said was true? Acro, you don't mean, you can't mean, witness!
Are you confirming your defense's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder.
What do you mean by that?
The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory. What would that problem be? The same problem has always been, evidence. If I drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim? Oh, you mean the conclusive evidence? The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be more precise. The murder weapon. The bust that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Aqua's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive. In my eyes. Yes, it would be. Where is it? The bust.
Nick, you've got to do something.
This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. So she said they're already searching for it. So if we request to search it, like, they're already doing that. So I guess might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but
Why aren't you going to search his room?
looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of Von Karma total justice. I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned. Yeah, I figured she'd already checked it. You said so earlier. A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday. What did you find? There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise. And we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second, something's funny about all this. Looks like you locked the final nail to put into my coffin. But what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now.
Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust, where is it now?
Where is the bust right now?
You're Phoenix, right? You know where that bust is. I'm sure you do.
I don't. Maya, please. I did not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? Oh man, where could it be? I'm sure it's gonna give us some options. We're just gonna have to pick one. Richards's case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short. Thank you for your support. Ack! I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think that brings an end to the cross-examination of this case. Okay. Objection. Oh no, hold it. Okay. Alright. Maya?
Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous, and I just bit my tongue.
What?
Need time to do what? Ow.
Why are you most surprised here? She's your aide, isn't she? Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
What? Are you asking me? Rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck!
Hey, wait a minute. You can't be serious.
Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Okay, what am I supposed to do with that information? Very well, the defense may proceed. Doesn't have a clue, and I don't think I'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. Okay. Whew, we can do this. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now? Okay. We're gonna save. Just save.
just gonna go through them in order. If this isn't it, we'll just reload and go to the next one. There's no doubt in my mind, the bust is somewhere around the lodging house. Gruncher. He better not say. In fact, allow me to be even more specific as to its location. You can find it... near the scene. It's buried in the plaza. Near the scene of the crime, and no one noticed it. How'd you possibly think that? Haven't you ever heard of the old saying? Hiding it in plain sight? It was hiding right under your nose? Okay. That about sums it up. Maybe Mo's room? I don't know. They don't seem to be. Okay, this wasn't it. I'm just gonna pretend we didn't do all that. Okay, it's not there. Okay, so she's pretty adamant. Wait. Okay, she's pretty adamant that he didn't have time to hide it anywhere. I guess technically he could have hidden it in between the murder. Oh no, because he would have needed to like drop it or something. Oh, man. Okay. Somewhere in the big top. We'll just go through all three. It must be somewhere in the very big top. It's in the big top. Wait, I have to put, okay, it's not gonna be any of those because we went to all of those. Maybe Mo's room? There's no doubt in my mind. He better not say. Mo's room. Indeed, it is in Mo's room. That clown, you don't mean? Or would the wash be in Mo's room? That's simple. I couldn't think of any other rooms it could be in. All right, this is not it. This is not it. That wasn't it. Okay. All right, somewhere in this courtroom. I don't know where. It's obvious the bust is inside this very courtroom. It's obviously where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. So, okay, the judge is not going to have it. I doubt that the prosecutor would be hiding it because she would want to get to the bottom of it. Wait. Do we have it? Okay. This is going to sound a little crazy because I don't think he had a blanket on his lap. But if he had a blanket on his lap, what if it's hiding in his wheelchair? Like, if he had a blanket and he had it, like, positioned right, like, because he's got one of those wheelchairs that has a back against his legs that's, like, completely solid instead of just the 2 feet, like I've seen most away here. What if he's hiding it between his feet? I don't know. Look, it's probably not this. It's probably in his room or something, but... Oh, music stopped. Maybe we are onto something. I guess it would be literally the only place we haven't looked, so... Acro? I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you are a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket, because it seems that it would be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. Yeah, see? He does have a blanket. Oh, he has the footy one. Okay, I don't know how that would work. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. I guess it would be the only part of his room they didn't search either. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it, in the only place that you could hide it, under your wheelchair. Wouldn't they have seen it under there? Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap?
Well done, Mr. Right. Masterfully played.
Does that mean I'm right? Oh. You fool! How could you? Oh, she's mad. It's the second time one of her witnesses was actually the killer. Actually, third time, technically. No, second time.
You got me. And Bags made a real pro. Actually, 2 of them.
2 of them?
Miss Francisca von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search in my room last night? There were 2 pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away in the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court, hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that.
Did she suspect him?
So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now. I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. Well, it was probably more her trying to rule him out as a suspect. You know? You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't. Can't believe it. Me! Made a mistake. What?
I didn't order a surprise search of your room.
If only I hadn't done that. But you wanted to rule him out as a suspect, so...
It seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro. Yes, Your Honor. Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russellberry? Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime.
Acro. Oh, she was Acro.
All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he teased her. One day my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way.
And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper.
I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her.
No matter what.
Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely. But she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. No matter what.
That's when you decided to do something about Regina.
How dreadful. Were you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well? No, that's not what I mean.
Aww.
I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first, I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I couldn't just not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry.
Aww.
I just couldn't up and leave yet.
Because his brother's still alive and he wants to see him wake up?
This has been such a strange case. Almost a reflection of the circus itself.
Right?
I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me again.
She's really upset. She's gonna beat the crap out of us.
I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict.
Not guilty. Woo! We did it! Yay! We did it! Woohoo!
This court is adjourned.
Hey! You got it.
Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this.
Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh?
That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only that makes a million. Thank you. I forgot his voice as soon as I was starting to do it. What's with the vibe in this room? That's not his voice. It's like a mutilated solid snake. I don't know what I'm doing with that.
We're just thinking about Acro.
No. You worry about people too much, and you'll be like this forever. Never be happy. I don't remember what voice we gave. I think it was kind of like this. I think this was the voice he had.
Huh?
Wow. She's been like this for a while.
It's all my fault.
Sweetie pie.
Bat and Acro, they're never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up. Regina, Mr. Right, tell me something.
What do you want to know, Regina?
Acro said something right at the end.
I just couldn't believe it.
Does it mean that Acro, is he gonna try to get his revenge on me?
No, Regina, he was talking about his brother. Obviously, he's not gonna do that to you, Regina.
Are you sure? Are you really sure? I can believe that.
Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore.
If that's true, then I want to see some evidence.
Huh?
I want to know you're not just making up that stuff about Acro not wanting revenge.
Doing that and crying is very difficult. His brother. He was talking about his brother. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again.
Bat? That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. And now that Acro's been caught. I know.
What?
I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Till he opens his eyes, and then he can meet Acro again.
That's so sweet of you, Regina.
I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat.
Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind as she continues to sob. Hey, Max. What is it, Mo? Sit up. We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contracts. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now? That's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I made a decision. What is it? I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus the world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen? Don't laugh. That's quite the goal.
Yay, I can't wait.
And I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen. Max, let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Regina, you're gonna help them too, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
Oh wait, that was Maya's voice. My bad.
Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to court today? We gotta work together to make the Berry Big Circus bigger than it's ever been.
Mo.
Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the Berry Big Circus without Regina Berry.
But my house. Nick.
Seems like everything is going to turn out alright here.
I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen.
We'll save you those fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats.
That probably wasn't enough for house. I'm sorry. We did it! I see what made the case.
Yesterday's surprise raid really paid off, like you said it would, sir.
Sir.
You had it all figured out, didn't you?
It was just a feeling. If Echo really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney.
You mean Mr. Wright? I forget what voice we gave Gumshoe.
Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Afro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back.
Oh! Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you. Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth's not dead. He was supposed to be dead. I don't know if y'all know that. He was supposed to be dead. I see your hydrate, by the way. I just saw it. A brand new episode was added. Bet. Alright, we're gonna save. But that is gonna do it for tonight. We made the 3-hour mark, so the end of that case was actually kind of long. Alright, so we found out Mr. Edgeworth is not dead. He's the one that ordered the surprise raid and not Franziska von Karma, even though she technically took credit for it in the court. Not sure what was going on with that. Gumshoe knew he was alive the whole time, even though Franziska is acting like he's dead and we're acting like he's dead, so maybe we don't know he's alive? He did leave like a suicide note, so that was kind of weird. But yeah, I guess the next case is gonna have something to do with him because his picture was on the art for it. So that will be our start for next Saturday. We're gonna start with that case. It is episode 4 of game number 2, so that'll be a lot of fun. I hope you all have a restful, relaxing rest of your evening. I hope you get a snack if you need it. I need to go eat dinner because I didn't eat before stream like a goofy. And I hope you remember to hydrate because it's good for your brain and your body. Good night, chocolate. Good night. Have a good one. There, we have hydrated. Get that food, girl? Oh, trust me, I will. And now we are in ad space, so I have to wait until the ad finishes so that I can come back to you all. If you happen to have a subscription or you're watching this later on YouTube, you're not seeing the seconds of ad that is happening. But if you don't have any of those things, then you're watching an ad right now. And I'm just talking about the fact that you're watching an ad right now, which is kind of silly. So we will be playing some more wildflowers in the morning. We're going to be trying to work on the rest of the farm animals. So we want to get the rest of the summer animals tomorrow morning. I'm hopeful that maybe we can actually turn it to fall by the end of tomorrow. But maybe not. We'll probably just work on getting those and starting the section for fall for wildflowers. So that'll probably be the goal for the morning. Unless I get a wild hare and we play some more Polya. It's kind of a toss-up between those two. I think we're going to stick with wildflowers and we're going to play Polya on Tuesday. Because we need to get some more Polya in before Fae Farm launches on next Saturday, or next Friday is when it's coming out. But we'll be playing it next Saturday, or not next Saturday, next Sunday. So, unless we have a special Friday stream, which could happen. So, thank you everybody so much again for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful, restful, relaxing rest of your evening, and I hope that I see you tomorrow. Bye!